I don't think people realize how terrifying this is. Like, we're just accepting this stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, hey, they killed him.
Yeah.
And there's no repercussions at all. Like, that's terrifying. Well, like I said, the idea that we all knew that Epstein was killed was terrifying. And I think Epstein was such a horrible person that all of us were fine with it. But the reason I said it was terrifying is because of eventualities like this. So yesterday, I'm chilling. What time did Josh send this to me?
It was in the morning, I know that.
Josh sent this to me at 1 a.m. He goes, some judge connected to Epstein, their kid just got assassinated, and the husband has been injured. And that's such a crazy, fantastical, ridiculous story. And so he and I start talking back and forth, and it was just so, I mean, my instinct was to just jump on it immediately, but it was so fantastical that I was like, well, hold on.
Let me do some research.
And here we go. Fortune magazine, along with everybody else, hitman kills son of judge overseeing Deutsche Bank Epstein trial. An assassin posing as a FedEx driver.
Jeez.
Which means I'm assuming the guy had a FedEx truck and a suit. Shot and killed the 20-year-old son of a federal judge in North Brunswick on Sunday and badly wounded her husband.
Oh.
The judge in question is Esther Salas. Earlier in the week, she was assigned to oversee a lawsuit brought by investigators against Deutsche Bank over its involvement in the handling of financial matters related to sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein. The motive for the shooting is unclear. On Sunday evening, federal law enforcement asked for the public's help in solving the crime. This is FBI Newark. The FBI is investigating a shooting that occurred at the home of Judge Esther Salas in North Brunswick Township, New Jersey, earlier this morning, July 19th. We're looking for one subject and ask that anyone who thinks they may have relevant information call us at yada yada yada. In the lawsuit against Deutsche Bank, investors claim they lost money as a result of the financial giant having to pay regulators $150 million for compliance failures related to Epstein. The disgraced financier was arrested for sex trafficking of minors in 2019. He died in a Manhattan jail last August in an apparent suicide. According to ABC News, the attack on Salas' family occurred when her son Daniel Anderl, I think is actually the name, or husband Mark Anderl, opened the door to what appeared to be a FedEx delivery man. The son, a student at Catholic University, was shot through the heart while the husband is in the hospital.
So sad.
Some have speculated on Twitter that the attack may not be related to Judge Salas' involvement in the Epstein case, but rather to her husband's work as a criminal defense attorney.
Jeez.
Now, the minute we hear that anybody connected to the Epstein case died, we're going to automatically assume that... And look, none of us are crazy for jumping to that conclusion. And I had said this about 8 months ago, that the idea that Epstein could be killed in his own prison cell while he was on suicide watch, or I think they took him off suicide watch for that day. And, you know, we had already reported in Middle America that he was telling his family members that people were trying to kill him, etc., etc. The idea that that could happen, that means that whoever did it had massive power, that they're extremely powerful people pulling those kinds of strings. And now we've got Judge Salas, who is not directly related to the Ghislaine Maxwell case. But anytime you're doing an investigation like this, what is the number one rule in investigations? Follow the money. And so there definitely could be some very damning information in that Deutsche Bank lawsuit, etc., etc. What I don't know much about Judge Salas, but I've heard that she's extremely convicted, and she's very by the book,
so
and she has received multiple death threats, not just in this situation but in other situations as well, which every Everybody that's in that position gets those types of things as a matter of course.
When you're in a situation where you're there to bring justice to a situation, and then someone comes and does that, like, it instills fear in all the other justice bringing people around you, because nobody wants to lose their kid, nobody wants to lose their husband.
Yeah,
I feel so sad for her. Ugh.
And that see, that's the thing, is that the way that these criminals operate is they will buy the person off, but if the person can't be bought off, they'll do stuff like this. I mean, this is like Hollywood TV stuff. You get a FedEx truck, you dress up as a FedEx person, you're going to deliver a package, and then bang bang, like the kid gets shot in the heart. It's unbelievable that you know, and in my opinion, I think the husband got left alive so that people could understand that this was an assassin that did this and not just a random act of violence. You know, because if the husband would have died, it would have been, hey, they're dead. I mean, there would have been a lot of speculation. But the fact that the husband's alive, he was the one that was able to say, this dude dressed up in a FedEx suit and shot my son.
Oh.
If the husband was dead, it would just be some sort of random act of violence, and we wouldn't have been able to connect it that
I don't know.
That directly.
People that have that level of jobs, I'm sure they have security cameras, so they would have been able to know all of that.
I don't think it was on the security camera at all.
They came to the front door.
Yeah, I don't think they lived in a secured house. I mean, I saw pictures of the house. I mean, they were not. First of all, there's no footage of this happening.
Really?
No. So, that's the thing, is like...
That's so weird. How can you have death threats and then not have security cameras?
Well, I mean, I've had death threats.
Well, I know.
Very credible ones.
You're not normal. People...
Yeah, this was their house. You know, they were in a suburb in Jersey.
Oh, it just looks basic.
Yeah, so, no, they didn't have all that. So, to me... It seems as if they left that guy alive so that, you know, he could tell everybody, you know, hey, this was a hitman, because that's the only reason we know he dressed up in a FedEx suit and all that. It's because the husband was able to recount it. So, just a horrible, horrible situation. But we collectively, because it was Epstein, we collectively just let it go. We made jokes about it. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody was putting that in the memes, and it's like, yeah, Epstein, nobody's shedding any tears for Epstein for sure. But, you know, because these people were allowed to do that and there was no public outcry that said, hey, who's doing this? What's he? And the stories were so crazy that the government was putting out, and the New York chief medical examiner, she was like, oh yeah, it's consistent with suicide. And then, you know, we had the expert examiner saying, no, this would have been the first suicide in the last 30 years of my practice. I mean, it was just so obvious, and I think all of us kind of fell into the whole, well, I mean, it's Epstein, you know, he doesn't...
Yeah, because...
We didn't understand the principle of justice.
There's a lot of different things where when you go on Facebook and you're scrolling, you're going to see both sides. And I never saw anybody post... Epstein really did kill himself. You know what I mean? Like, nobody firmly believed that. Everybody was making light of it. Everybody was, you know, nobody was falling for that.
We all, you know, we don't have any love for Epstein based on what he did to those girls.
Right.
Ruined those girls' lives like that and all that. So we were like, man, screw that guy. Good, he got what he got. But now, and obviously there isn't a one-to-one correlation between how we reacted as Americans versus this particular situation. But at the same time, if there would have been a lot of heat from the public for a further investigation and a further, let's find some names, and there's got to be a manifest somewhere.
Yeah.
And the cameras were off, like, somebody's head's got to roll. I mean, this is a brazen act of murder. Like, you show up in a FedEx suit and like, boom, right at the front door. Like, this is some, like, movie James Bond type of... you know, craziness that you would see at a cheap spy movie and be like, oh man, nobody would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, not even a sniper, you know, like, I mean, they went to the dude's house in broad, you know, I don't know if it was broad daylight, because they said the news broke at, you know, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night, which must have been weird, right? Like, there's a FedEx guy I mean, I don't know what time this happened.
Where you said New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I mean, it's a horrible, horrible situation.
I think what bothers me too is that, and this is not technically news related, I guess it's just people related, but like, you're gonna remember, you have stuff in your head, like when tragedies happen, you keep it in your head for a very long time. I don't. I hold on to it for a little while and then it kind of like let it slide off the side because I can't carry it for too long. And like, this mom is not gonna ever be able to let that go. Like, that's always gonna be in her heart. And that's very sad to me.
Now we've got breaking news here. The suspect of federal judge son and husband at her New Jersey home has died, sources say.
Of course. Oh, of course.
I'm just now looking at this right on CNN.com. And now
that's exactly what
the suspect is dead. The guy who did the killing, the person suspected of shooting the husband of Son U.S. District Court of New Jersey, Esther Salas on Sunday at her North Brunswick home has died of what is believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Wow.
According to 2 law enforcement sources.
Wow.
Daniel Anderl, a 20-year-old student at Catholic University, was killed in the shooting. Mark Anderl, the judge's husband and a defense attorney, was injured, according to Chief Judge Frida Wolfson. Salas was unharmed. Mark Anderl is unstable and seems to be okay. Both the U.S. Marshals and FBI investigating the shooting were working to find the suspected gunman. Initial reports from law enforcement said Daniel Anderl opened the door with his father right behind him. The door opened to a hail of gunfire. The gunman fled. It is not yet known whether the gunman was an ex-FedEx employee. I mean, come on, guys. So, guys, this is insane. So now the killer is dead. He killed himself. Now, here's the thing. We don't know who the killer was. We have no video of the killer. So we're just supposed to believe that this dude went through all the trouble, dressed up as a FedEx employee or whatever, shot up this house, killed this kid, and then he went off and killed himself. Well, then why go through all the trouble of disguising yourself?
Exactly.
And why run off if he was just going to kill himself anyway?
Right.
I mean, it's like these people have no, like, different version of these stories. Now this dude supposedly killed himself. Come on, bro. Look, man, I think we need, I don't even know what to say. I'm literally at a loss for words by, like, how stupid do these people think we really are? Unbelievable. Now this guy is dead, supposedly. Look, we are going to be shooting videos as the updates continue, but it's just a tragic situation. Our country truly is in the hands of a very few group of elites. And, you know, we did a thing on a fireside called Conspiracy Thursday where everybody was just throwing out their best conspiracy theories. And, you know, there was, like, agreement and disagreement on both sides, but the minute somebody brought up Epstein, 100% of the room was like, oh, well, yeah. And none of us believes this story, I don't think, either. Now the guy is dead, supposedly.
We all saw it in The Dark Knight Rises. You finish your job, you get killed by the next guy.
Yeah. Unbelievable stuff. This is just truly sad. We're gonna leave you with the picture of the Salas, the family of the judge. This is the husband he's injured, but it looks like he's gonna make it. This is a son who literally got shot through the heart, and then the judge. So we want to leave you with that because those are the people that need to be centered in these discussions anyway. So, love your neighbor.
Take care of each other.
Middle America.
We are the media.
Till next time, guys.